And joining me now from Urbandale, Iowa, is Democratic Senator and presidential candidate Cory Booker. Senator Booker, welcome back to Meet the Press.
It's great to be on. Good morning, John.
So you have to be a juror while a candidate. So let me ask you about your juror role here first. I almost want you to respond to something one of your colleagues, Bill Cassidy, Republican senator from Louisiana, sort of implied in our setup piece, which is this idea of a fair trial. Everybody, essentially, who's not impartial here? What do you think a Senate trial should look like?
I think we all swear an oath, and we're going to swear a very special oath. We will literally swear to this ideal of impartiality. And I've heard from my Democratic colleagues, folks, just tell me this is just not a good thing for America. I don't think the colleagues that I know that are my friends in the Senate on both sides of the aisle think this is a good thing. None of us are happy about this. As a guy who's a big competitor, I want to beat Donald Trump mano a mano. I want to face him down on a debate floor. So this is not something that I want to do. And yeah, I'm going to evaluate the facts objectively and honor the oath that I swore, even though I think Donald Trump has violated his oath to office.
Speaker Pelosi right now has delayed sending over the articles. Do you think that is a good maneuver? And is there a point where you think she should send them over no matter what? Or is there a timetable in your head?
Look, Nancy Pelosi, I've watched her over this past year and more. She's been a light worker in dark times, balancing the most difficult of circumstances. The third time in American history a United States president's been impeached. Those articles will come over. I talked to Chuck Schumer this week. We all know they will. I think what she's just trying to do is to make sure the best possible case for a fair trial happens. To have this all happening in a context that Mitch McConnell is openly saying he will violate his oath and not be impartial, that we have a situation here that to me is just very simple. You're going to have a trial, have the first-hand witnesses. If you're innocent, have Acting Chief of Staff Mulvaney come before the Senate, swear to an oath, settle this whole thing. So I think she's just trying to say, hey, let's not make this a circus, a partisan circus. Let's just get to the facts and get this trial conducted rightly and then behind us. Do
you view the ask of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden as witnesses as basically an attempt by, whether it's the Republicans or the Trump administration, is sort of to make the witness requests a mutual assured political destruction?
I'm exhausted, frankly, of the Biden aspect of this. This does not speak in any way that's germane to the president's behavior. Did the president or not, and there were witnesses in the room, did he violate his oath? Did he violate national security? Did he pursue his own personal interests with our taxpayer dollars counter to the mandates of Congress? This is a very clear, cut and dry thing to me. And there are people who could be testifying in front of the American people and settle this once and for all under oath. What did you witness? And we should be doing that because, God, all of us on both sides of the aisle, we're just fatigued of this. So much noise, so much obfuscation, so much distraction. Let's just get to the facts and move on as a nation from this very sad period.
Well, I actually want to play you a clip of a couple of basically voter responses to the impeachment. One is from 1998, and one is from a voter in Iowa from the last week. Take a listen.
Him dropping his pants with somebody in the White House isn't going to affect my bottom line.
I think he's a jerk, but things are getting done. I think it's just a ploy to try to not get Trump elected.
Senator, I bring that up because there is the fatigue you brought up of yourself. I think there's fatigue out there in the country, and a lot of people are looking at this in sort of through their own pocketbooks, and the economy is doing well. How much should public opinion's exhaustion from this factor into this, how you conduct this Senate trial?
It should not at all. Not at all. You know, when I walk onto that Senate floor, I still am one of those folks that gets this sort of overwhelming sense of gravity. We have these institutions that are so much bigger than us, these traditions, a constitution. This is not a question about popular opinion right now. This is a question about the sacrosanct ideals of our nation. Did a president of the United States violate his oath of office? Did he violate the values of this nation? And we created a system of checks and balances to hold him accountable. He is not above the law. He should be subject to the constitutional mandates. And so we should do this independent of public opinion. This is a time, history will look back on this moment. Did a president violate his oath? Did he violate the sanctity of our Constitution? If he did, he should be held accountable, and we should, again, move on, do the right thing, and then let's move on as a nation.
All right, I want to ask you about your campaign. You were not on the debate stage last week. Something that obviously that's not something that pleased your campaign, and you've made your views known that you feel as if the parameters to get into the debates are too high. The DNC just raised the bar even higher for January. Let me ask this. What do you believe was missing from the debate that your voice would have added last Thursday night?
Let's just be clear. What you hear from local media in Iowa and people is why is some DNC officials in Washington determining who we get to evaluate? Because here on the ground, our campaign is third or fourth in net favorabilities. Our campaign is number 1 or 2 in overall endorsements from local leaders. We're picking up county chairmen, local mayors, state reps. We now, according to the Des Moines Register, have one of the top teams organizing on the ground, setting up. There's even articles talking about why Cory Booker is going to upset here in Iowa. John Kerry, John Edwards polling 6th and 7th in a crowded field at 2% and 4%. 1 month later went on to finish 1 and 2. Barack Obama around this time was 15, 20 points behind Hillary Clinton. The polls have never predicted who would go on. Our campaign is surging right now, and this is why I'm grateful to the American public, because there was almost a backlash against us not being on the stage. We had one of our best fundraising periods of the entire campaign, and I hope people who want my voice in this race will continue to go to CoryBooker.com and help us to surge like we are now and win when it comes to February.
Well, your history is correct, Senator Booker. December leaders in Iowa often don't finish as the leader when the caucuses actually happen. So you definitely have to watch out for upsets there. Senator Booker, thank you for coming on. Sounds like you are campaigning hard. You've got the Sunday morning, you've been campaigning a lot voice there. Stay safe on the trail, rest that voice, and enjoy your holidays.
Chuck, really appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you and all who celebrate, and Happy Hanukkah to those as well.
Thank you. Hello from Washington, I'm Chuck Todd, and thanks for checking out the Meet the Press channel on YouTube. Click on the button down here to subscribe and click over here to watch the latest interviews, highlights, and other digital exclusives.